Let's talk about shrinkage. Shrinkage can be seen as one of the most frustrating natural hair issues on the planet. One might call it the natural hair devil because it conceals our true length, making things a little tricky with styling. At about this point, we could get into a lecture session, wagging our fingers at you, telling you that shrinkage is just a part of life as a natural hair woman, and so you have to learn to embrace it. We could also say that even though every day your hair might seem to be a different length due to shrinkage, it is a part of who you are naturally, and you should love your hair in its absolute natural state. But we won't do that. Instead, we will acknowledge the issue and give you hope because there are ways to combat shrinkage, so you can enjoy more styling options. If you are at war with your shrinkage, you might find yourself searching for new ways or products to assist with combating it. Well girls, search no more. Today's your lucky day because we just happen to have a few tips right here. Why try to avoid shrinkage? Before we get into the tips though, there are some valid reasons a person might choose to avoid full shrinkage even though it adds to that gorgeous density we know and love. The first reason is extreme tangling, which eventually leads to breakage. Even though shrinkage is what we might refer to as our hair strand's natural tendency, its very structure and nature alone can be detrimental if not manipulated in some way. Naturally curly hair tends to curl on itself, often creating tangles faster than you can say this sentence. Tangles can get so severe that you might just find yourself ripping through them. We never encourage any kind of ripping around these parts, but we realize it can happen sometimes accidentally. This breaks the hair, leading to setbacks. Another reason is simply aesthetics. Sometimes a girl just wants her length to show. We get to see our length when we wash and detangle our hair, but then it dries and poof, just like that, it's gone. Length and hair growth are big rewards for our hard work in caring for our hair, so it can be frustrating when we are seeing the same length for months on end due to shrinkage. Okay, now that we have the justifications out of the way, let's move on to the tips. So how do we combat shrinkage? Heat. Typically, we would say lay off the heat because it can be damaging to your strands. And don't get us wrong, we still say lay off. Heat damage is nothing to snooze at. The fact remains that heat is one way to combat shrinkage, and it's a pretty good way at that. Stretching your hair using heat, however, must be done in a responsible manner. You can try the tension blow-dry method along with a very good heat protectant to minimize damage to your natural hair. On the more extreme end of the scale, you can do a single pass with a medium heat flat iron, again with a great heat protectant. Styles that offer maximum stretch. Styles that give you maximum stretch include roller sets, straw sets, or curl formers, all of which do not require heat to dry. These tools are amazing because they hold your hair taut for you while your hair dries, so you can stretch your hair without worry. The key though is allowing your hair to dry completely. So many women use overhead hair dryers or just air dry for a very long time, including overnight, for the best results. Styles that offer a degree of stretch. Braid out. This style will give you a stretched look along with kinky curly definition. You will definitely see length with this method with just about 8 to 10 braids. Twist out and flat twist out. Both are very easy and provide great stretch and lovely spiral curls. The smaller the twist that you install, the more curly your hair will become, but the less stretched. Twist outs do not give as much stretch as braid outs, but it's all a matter of preference. Hair banding. This method is super easy and probably gives the most stretch. Banding is a no-nonsense way of getting that stretch without being worried about definition. As a matter of fact, it is a perfect alternative to a heat-free blowout. African threading. This is essentially hair banding on steroids. The method is used traditionally in many parts of Africa on young girls' hair, but requires a bit of technique. However, Once you have it down, it can really stretch your hair to the point of it looking almost straight. It simply involves separating your hair in small sections and using some really good thread, preferably the kind they use on weaves. Essentially, you'll be wrapping the length of your hair with a thread similar to banding, but with no spaces in between. There are tutorials available on YouTube if you want to learn more about it. Just search African threading. You're bound to find a comprehensive tutorial. Use styling products that provide hold. Use products that are specifically geared towards holding your hair in place and to keep your hair stretched for longer. Typically, stylers like gels, curl creams and custards will do the trick. Note that even though you are using a holding product, if your hair is not allowed to dry in one of the styles mentioned earlier, it will not remain stretched. Stretch only your ends. Maybe you do not care about shrinkage so much. You love the volume it brings, but you still want to stretch portions of your hair to avoid single strand knots. You can do this by doing the styles that offer a degree of stretch that we mentioned earlier and adding medium-sized rollers or perm rods to the ends of your hair. This way, you get the fullness that shrinkage gives you, but you avoid all the drama of fairy knots. What are your favourite methods of combating natural hair shrinkage? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to us for more videos.
Let's go. It's a party on my planet. All the girls here and you know we run it. And on the floor, drinks spilling from the ceiling. Let's lose control, get lost for a minute. Let's go.